Welcome to Oregon's capital, your Oregon capital. The Capitol is home to the Oregon State Legislature, the Governor, Secretary of State, and the State Treasurer. This is Oregon's third state capitol, the previous two having been destroyed by fires in 1855 and 1935. The current building was designed in 1938 by Francis Keeley, a New York architect. The wings were completed and dedicated in 1977.
I'm very pleased to join with all of you this afternoon for the dedication of the new Capitol wings. I welcome all of our many friends and distinguished guests who are able to be with us to share in this proud day.
The Senate wing is named after Jason Bowe, who was the Senate president. The House wing is named after Phil Lang, who was the Speaker of the House, both during the 1977 legislative session. Welcome to the Rotunda. The four large murals that grace the walls in the Rotunda represent four events that shaped Oregon's history. They were painted by Frank Schwartz and Barry Faulkner. The first mural, located on the southeast wall, depicts Captain Robert Gray's discovery of the Columbia River in 1792. Gray, an American explorer, named the river after his ship, the Columbia Rediviva. Because Gray was an American, his discovery laid the foundation to the United States' claim to the Pacific Northwest. This opened up important trade relations with the natives. The second mural on the southwest wall shows Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, two of our nation's most famous explorers. Lewis and Clark were appointed by President Thomas Jefferson to lead an expedition west across the continent. The expedition, named Corps of Discovery, left St. Louis, Missouri with a contingency of experienced frontiersmen in the spring of 1804 and arrived 19 months later at the Pacific coast in 1805. The mural depicts the expedition portaging Celilo Falls near the Dalles, Oregon. The two other historical people in the mural, Sacagawea, an 18-year-old Shoshone Native American with her baby, was the only woman on the journey, and York, the first African American to come to the Pacific Northwest. The presence of Sacagawea and her baby served to allay the suspicions of the native tribes that the expedition encountered during their long journey. York was much admired by the Indians. When the expedition returned to the east, York remained behind and was the first African American to own land in Oregon Territory. The third mural on the northwest wall portrays the arrival of the first non-native women to the Oregon Territory. The women were missionaries, Eliza Spalding and Narcissa Whitman, who came to convert natives to Christianity. The women are being greeted by Dr. John McLaughlin, chief factor of the Hudson Bay Company. Because of his generous support of the settlers, McLaughlin is considered to be the father of Oregon. The fourth mural on the northeast wall depicts the Great Wagon Train Migration of 1843. In the 1840s and 50s, nearly 3,500 pioneers made their way west across the Oregon Trail. They came for the abundant resources of fertile soil and free land. There were 900 people in the first wagon train migration. Nearly 600 were children. In the mural, the pioneers are shown resting at the Dalles before making the arduous journey down the Columbia River.
In 2008, the House and Senate wings were remodeled due to health and safety issues. This was the first upgrade since 1977.
The centerpiece of the Capitol Rotunda is the bronze replica of the Oregon seal sculpted by Ulrich Ullerhusen. Ullerhusen also designed the Oregon Pioneer and the 6 cast bronze sculptures over the inside and the outside of the main entrance. The seal includes 9 symbols of Oregon: a British man-of-war ship leaving our shore, an American steamship arriving, the western sunset, mountains, stand of timber, wildlife, sheaf of wheat, plow and pickaxe, and the American eagle. The phrase "the Union" was the motto of the state until it was changed by the 1987 legislature to the state's territorial government motto, "She flies with her own wings." There are 33 stars in the seal, symbolizing that Oregon was the 33rd state to be admitted into the Union in February 14, 1859. The rotunda rises 106 feet from the floor to the ceiling. Directly overhead, you can see elements of the seal lining the walls of the rotunda. The Capitol's exterior is faced with white marble from the Danby Quarry in Vermont. The walls inside the Capitol are lined with rose travertine marble from Gardner, Montana. Floors and staircases utilize large squares of Phoenix Napoleon gray marble from Carthage, Missouri, with Art Deco borders of black radial marble from Vermont.
Russell Olinsky, a Springfield city employee, designed this piece of art from 3,250 different items that he collected from the city sewer. After boiling them, it took 60 hours to assemble.
The governor's formal or ceremonial office is home to the sitting governor of Oregon. The governor's reception area table was a gift from Francis Keeley, architect of the present Capitol. The ceremonial office is where the governor holds press conferences, bill signings, and other special events. Above the fireplace is a hand-painted map of Oregon, which was painstakingly restored after the fire of 2008. This is the governor's ceremonial desk and chair. Most of the furniture in the office was designed by the architect and has been in the building since 1938. With the exception of the smaller slanted top desk, the desk was used by legislators in both the House and the Senate chambers of the previous Capitol building.
On August 30th, 2008, a 3-alarm fire, which started on the terrace, burned the governor's ceremonial office. Firefighters were able to extinguish the blaze in 30 minutes. The governor set up a temporary office outside of the Capitol while restoration work was done.
Welcome to the House of Representatives. Golden oak paneling and furniture decorate Oregon's House of Representatives. The distinctive carpet features a repeat pattern of Oregon's state tree, the Douglas fir, which also signifies Oregon's timber industry. The House consists of 60 members who serve 2-year terms. Behind the rostrum, where the Speaker of the House presides, is a mural showing the historic vote at the Champouie Settlement, which created a provisional government to the Oregon Territory in 1843. On that day, 100 men had gathered. They represented the 2 groups of settlers that resided in the Oregon Territory. At first, the vote was a tie. Then a fur trapper by the name of Joe Meek emerged from the group, drew a line in the dirt saying, "Who's for the divide? All in favor of the report and the organization follow me." Meek was indeed a persuasive man. 2 French-Canadian trappers changed their minds and switched to support the provisional government. With Joe Meek's encouragement, the 50-50 vote was changed to 52-48. If you look above the chambers, you can find the names of 158 people who helped with the development of Oregon.
The Capitol has many volunteers who give their free time to educate, inform, and assist the public in many ways. Their broad knowledge and investment of their personal time is a priceless resource for the Oregon State Capitol and its visitors.
Welcome to the Senate chambers. There are some striking similarities and noticeable differences between the House and the Senate chambers. The Senate chamber is finished in matching black walnut. As in the House, the carpet was designed by the architect and features alternating designs of a sheaf of wheat symbolizing Oregon's agriculture industry and the state fish, a Chinook salmon, which also symbolizes Oregon's fishing industry. The most obvious difference between the chambers is the amount of desks. There are only 30 Senate members that serve 4-year terms. The mural behind the Senate President's podium illustrates a scene in Salem on St. Patrick's Day in 1859, when the news of Oregon's statehood finally arrived in Salem. A popular attraction is the Tower Tour. Guests climb the 121 steps to the observation deck, where they can enjoy the amazing panoramic view of Salem and the Golden Pioneer. 23 feet tall, 8.5 tons of sculpted bronze, and covered in 11.5 ounces of gold leaf. The Golden Pioneer is a testament to the pioneering spirit of Oregonians. Oregon is the first state in the nation to mount solar panels on its capital. A portion of the energy generated by the solar array is used to light the Golden Pioneer on the state capitol. There are many monuments on the Capitol grounds. For more information, pick up a brochure from the Visitor Services Information Kiosk. Thank you for visiting the Oregon State Capitol. We hope your tour was both educational and informative. If you have any questions, feel free to call Visitor Services at 503-986-1388.